Johnny Arenas is a self-employed house cleaner who says his goal is to make every home he works in sparkle.
I like it to look like a mirror because then that's my satisfaction.
But a recent study shows his line of work could use some cleaning up itself. Half of Seattle's domestic workers do not get overtime pay. Fewer than half have a written contract. And 16% are concerned about reporting problems with their working conditions due to fear of retaliation from their employer.
I've been hearing from other coworkers them being abused, taken about sexually.
Johnny says he's been lucky to have had good employers, but he still doesn't have health benefits if he's hurt on the job, or paid sick leave, or any other protections an average worker might get.
We have to have the same rights like everybody.
We want to hear directly from you about what should change.
Teresa Mosqueda and other members of the Seattle City Council are leading the effort to help people like Johnny with a domestic workers' bill of rights. They're listening to workers like Marta, who fell on what she describes as a broken stairway at her job and only heard, "I'm sorry," from her employer.
She was really afraid.
Other workers are fearful of what their employers might do if they report trouble.
It really is a social justice issue.
Marcos Martinez is executive director at Casa Latina, a nonprofit focused on immigrant rights and education that's part of the newly formed Seattle Domestic Workers Alliance. It's estimated there are 30,000 domestic workers employed in Seattle, what advocates see as a critical yet sometimes invisible part of our economy.
The work that domestic workers do is work that makes all the other work possible.
Martinez is hoping to see a program of portable benefits in Seattle, where employers could contribute toward a domestic workers fund that would pay for sick leave or even retirement.
Domestic workers are people who are helping us to raise our families and really making the life that we have possible. And that's worth a few extra dollars.
That brings different challenges.
Tamina Watson is a mother of two who often employs a nanny, and she runs a law firm that works with local immigrants.
Immigrant rights is something I fight for day in, day out.
But she wants to make sure the voices of businesses are heard in the City Council's process.
The workers' rights balance with the employer has to be a very, very important consideration.
Watson supports treating workers fairly, but warns that a Bill of Rights with too much red tape could create a complicated, costly system that busy mothers like her won't have the time or money for.
In addition to having compliance issues, it might prevent the mother from actually going back out into the workforce.
Too much to say.
Nanny and singer-songwriter Ty Messiah wants to get all domestic workers and employers reading from the same page of music.
I want to fight for everybody else's rights to get what I have right now because I know what it's like to not, and it's not nice.
Right there?
Uh-huh.
Messiah says she's had concerns with her bosses in the past, but her current nannying job pays her benefits. And advocates say many Seattle employers have expressed willingness to do the same.
2, 3.
Ty is pushing for change. In our state, households that hire fewer than 2 full-time employees don't have to provide workers' compensation. And even the legislature's new sick leave policy this year excludes so-called casual workers like nannies or house cleaners.
Hey, we're people too. We also get sick, so we also need benefits. And some of us have kids that get sick, and so sometimes we need paid time off.
No head tax!
In a business climate charged by a recent debate over an employee tax on Seattle's largest companies, advocates for workers point out the Domestic Bill of Rights is still in its early stages, and no one wants to start a fight.
And we are not fighting. We are working everybody together.
But that work will require answering some tough questions from those who hire domestic workers.
Is it going to be you have to now register as an employer? You know, what is that going to look like?
It's a journey towards workers' rights that's skipping into high gear this summer.